I'm gonna be honest, these felt like very boring One Piece chapters this week because now we're going on a break again. So we'll be back with One Piece in the next 2 weeks. That's not surprising, after all, it was 3 chapters. But yeah, these last 3 chapters didn't really have an immediate impact on me. They felt pretty boring and pretty slow. Maybe they weren't, but well, at that moment they were released, they felt like that. So, sorry, yeah, this is me, the angry anime fan, and yes, this is One Piece chapter 916. Urish. First of all, we have a pretty sexy cover page about it's still summer, even though it's almost September now in the One Piece. So we see Nami in a swimsuit. Well, Robin too, but she is in the front. Nami, I mean. And her swimsuit is very welcoming. The rest, well, Luffy tries to smash a watermelon. Sanji is strangely watching over it. Chopper's playing with a jellyfish. Somehow, uh, Zoro's sweeping up a lot of noodles, and well, the rest are cooking. Nothing really important. The most important thing is Nami's picture. Either way, Urashima is of course not happy of having his top knot cut off because, well, for him it's an honor, as I suspected. But strangely enough, Ukui actually begins to feel like a little bit more emotional weak in this situation. While she showed her resolve and said she don't like Urashima because of his vulgarness, here she surprisingly feels very shy that in fact she did it in front of people and says, "Forgive Lord Urashima." That makes me think that maybe she was raised as a samurai, but she's still a pretty delicate lady. So, well, either way, Urashima prepares to use something he called a hariet, which is actually an open palm strike at the face. Closed fists are banned in sumo. I mean, I don't know anything about sumo. That's what the manga tells me. Even though he won't use it on a woman. But Luffy, of course, enters with now and nearly knocks him back with one. And although he himself also is almost knocked back, so he introduces himself as pirate and sumo wrestler aspirant Luffy no Umi. Fighting record a complete victory over Usopp. I think that is meant to do with that they have had sumo wrestlings on, well, the Sunny. Actually, in that anime only episode before that movie, Film Gold, they actually did do a sumo wrestling, but and didn't Luffy wrestle Usopp? I mean, I know he wrestled Frankie and didn't win because Nami knocked him out, but I just wondered. Well, either way, Urashima wants to hurt Cookie because, after all, she hurt his honor, which is not very big. So Urashima tries to, well, attack Luffy, but of course Luffy dodges every single attack. I would have been kind of upset if he would lost someone like Urashima. And Urashima even uses illegal moves. Back in Hold'em's place, he has taken poor Otama and is using shippers to try to ship away her cheek, but well, doesn't really get much to it, so to speak. It is also revealed that Hold'em's artificial lion also has a tail. Not only does a lion grow out of his stomach, but a tail as well. And it seems that, and here's a very strange part of it all. It really does seem that these pirates are commitment to Orochi's corrupted rule, because when Utama mentioned Kusuki, he suddenly says, Master Hold'em is the one who suddenly says, 20 years ago the Kusuki family was planning to destroy this country. They were nothing but a family of evil. That sounds a lot like what is that word? Not patronizing. I mean, patriots, so to speak. Because it's clear from this thing all that the Kusuki family are not evil. In fact, they were a family of change, and maybe more technically advanced than many other people in the world. Well, not in the world, but at least in Wano. What I meant to say is, it's clear from Lord Oden's words, he wanted Wano Kuri to change. And Wano Kuri has hardly changed until Kaido came along. So what I'm trying to say is, Do people think that the Kuzuki family were evil because they wanted to change the status quo uh, in Wano Kuni? Well, who knows? Elsewhere, law is unfortunately delayed because Beppo was dumb enough to eat a fish out of the river, and Hawking is on his way. And it seems they are talking in some new type of denden mushi because this denden mushi looks awfully thin, or maybe I'm seeing wrong. And what makes me a bit happy that Hawkins is on the way. Don't get me wrong, I hate Hawkins and I hope he can die, at least for now. But what makes happy is the fact that he warns Hold'em and saying, "You're no match for him," which meant Luffy. That means that Luffy should be powerful enough to take Hold'em. In fact, I would have been pretty upset if Hold'em is powerful enough to handle Luffy. Luffy may have fought for many hours, and he may have dicked out of the fight only to come back against one of the Charlotte family's strongest fighters, a free sweet commander. But what I'm trying to say is Luffy should have a power level of a sweet commander by now. And a disaster. If there's only one who should give Luffy trouble, it's a disaster. Not a headliner. So either way, Luffy finishes the fight against Urashima with an outstretched giant Subari that, of course, sends the fat-ass sumo wrestler guy all over town while destroying it. And only then do the people recognize Zoro as Zoroyo, even though Zoro does nothing to deny it. As as the citizens run away, a lot of the people, including the samurai and gifters, move ahead. One gifter even has a beard in the shape of a cute bunny head, while ears in his beard. And we also see, I think, one of the first females again. It's once again also pretty surprising that Cookie is actually answering what she should do, and Luffy is the one who says that, or sorry, is the one, if you want to save Tama, you should fight, and she does. I mean, that seems to suggest that while she is reversed in samurai fighting, she's not used to violence. So either way, after hearing what Hold'em is, although he calls him Hold Pig is, Hold'em shows himself, having Tama between the jaws of his lion and wearing a samurai sword. He declares that he is going to make Luffy pay for destroying his house. Well, Tama is unfortunately in a very big bind. After all, if that lion closes his jaw, then Tama is dead. And there's also, Hold'em seems to mention a thief named Shutemaru. It's very likely that that's an ally, uh, although he calls him a thief. So, well, either way, Hawkins is on his way and strangely enough looked nervous. Law is caught up because he's forced to cure his bear friend Beppo, and he's also nervous once he hears from his team that Hawkins has actually arrived at the entrance. But that's pretty strange. I mean, it's not strange that Law is a bit concerned about Hawkins. I think he probably will know his power by now. I'm more surprised that Hawkins is actually the one who's nervous. Does that mean he acknowledges how dangerous Luffy is? Again, Luffy took down a sweet commander. Yes, you can pull the logic that it wasn't exactly like that. But he did eventually win in a battle over stamina, and he became more powerful. I mean, he must have at least. So yeah, that's basically this chapter. Please defeat Hold'em and let this be over with. But yeah, these 3 chapters, pretty slow if you ask me. Nothing big really happened. Still don't know what happened to Sanji and co. Probably they are in Wano and have already assumed identities. Where are Kinemon and the others? Have they gathered up the allies? Let just things happen already. These last 3 weeks were pretty dull. They may be enjoyable to read after a while, but for now, they felt pretty dull. So like and subscribe if you want to, and give me your thoughts if you have any.